Hello and welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Blitz Pickup. We are here tonight, and yes, training camp has commenced. We are officially at day 2, but practice number 1. It's been very interesting. The guys spoke. We've heard some things from Coach Halfley, and we're going to review all of it. We have to talk about his approach. We need to talk about this QB room, and we need to also discuss, you know what? We'll save the best for last. Tone and Lou, let's get to this.
Finsanity, what's good?
What's up? How are you?
I can't call it. Just another day. Football is officially back, and it's good to be up here with you guys. Tom, what's good?
Yo, what's good, man? How y'all feeling? Yeah, I see Finsanity with the face already. Okay, cool. Y'all excited about what we heard coming out of camp today?
Not impressed.
I don't want no negative Nancy's here today. If we got negative Nancy's, we could turn this up right now. That's all I'm saying.
I'm just not.
You're not impressed?
Sorry. I'm not.
You're not impressed?
I'm not impressed.
Why? Can I? We'll wait till we get into the show.
Right.
Lou, how you feeling, man? 5 inch slide. How you feeling?
Hey, man, listen. We got through a day of training camp without no injuries, so that was good. I've heard some conflicting reports though about training camp. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, I can't wait to get into it. But, you hear one thing and then you hear another thing and then you try to find where the happy medium is between both. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm at. But so far, so good, man. I can't wait to talk about it.
Yeah, well, my apologies. I forgot my water, so I had to hurry up and run out. I didn't hear the opening monologue, or introduction, whichever you want to put it. Did we mention the is Cruz in the chat? By any chance? No, we seen Cruz?
I haven't seen him.
Okay. Did we mention the Marlins sweeping the Phillies?
No.
Okay, bad. I just want to throw that in there. Shout out to the Marlins sweeping the Phillies. I hate it had to be y'all, man. You know what I'm saying? But we was on a tour game losing streak. We had to get that stint up off with it. And it shout out to us doing the Phillies, divisional foe. But go ahead. Yeah, we can get into the show now. I just want to make sure we threw that out there.
Oh, you had to throw that one out there?
I just, usually we start with a different in the introduction, a different sport or something around the leagues, different leagues, and I just wanted to make sure we threw that little segment in there about the Marlins. Saying getting off the snot with a sweep of the Philadelphia Phillies. Yeah. Them.
You know what's crazy? I didn't even know there were Marlin fans out here.
Yeah. Well, I thought you would at least talk about the Tampa Bay Rays still being first and the first team to have 10 sweeps. Go ahead, talk this trash, Lou.
Well, you know what? The thing is, y'all should know me by now, right? I like to stay humble.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? I've never been one of a big talker or trying to brag about things. Now, if you want, we could talk about the Rays, Tone. The first team in the American League.
Stop the cap.
Well, I'm just saying, listen, I really try to be humble, right? Y'all know me. What I'm saying, though, is sometimes when people poke their bird chest out, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what gets me. Like, Finsanity, what would I look like if I just came on the show today and said that the Rays were the first team in the American League with 60-plus wins? How would that have made me look?
I mean, I guess the same way when you try to, in the space talk about Barca, starting their season and all that, getting ready.
Well, I'm Finsanity, I'm a Barca fan, though, right? You know
I've
that, right?
never heard you mention Barca a day in your life. Respectfully.
You know what? We could talk about that, Lou.
We don't have to. We don't have to talk about none of that.
You sure? You sure you don't want to talk about that?
There's nothing I would want to say or hear about Barcelona, whatever, FC, because I don't call them Barca. I call them the losers. But yeah, that's
yeah.
You guys,
you know what? We can get into the show. Go ahead.
Yeah, let's take a halfly approach, as some would say. Let's get right into it. That's what I was trying to do. Tony, reports came out that Halfley started the practice sessions right off the bat with 11 on 11s. How do you feel about that approach and his approach with the whole practice?
Can I make a request?
No.
Can I request Lou go? Well, I'm gonna make a request anyway. Can I request Lou go first? Cause I don't want to sound like the happy-go-lucky person. I just want to hear what Lou got to say first. I would love to hear this
right now.
I'm trying, cause earlier, I was getting yelled at, cussed at. I was getting cursed at, because I was a little too happy and too happy-go-lucky and too positive. Someone asked me, was I down with OPP? Opportunity, positivity, and possibilities. I don't know. So I just would love to hear what Lou got to say first. if you don't mind, good sir. I want to make sure I answer this question the correct way. If you don't mind, sir.
Go ahead.
Insanity, would you mind asking me the question one more time, please?
Yes, of course. Anything for you, Lou. So it came out today that Halfley started the practice session with 11 on 11s. How do you feel about that approach and his approach overall to the practice in general, but specifically starting the practice off with a banger with the 11 on 11s? No warm-ups. Let's get right to it.
You know what, Insanity, Tone? I don't like it.
Okay.
I love it.
Okay. See,
I love it. This is my head coach right here. See what I'm saying? When there's things to like, a person like me, right? A real person that can look and have objectivity, right? I can come out here and tell the truth. Now this team, they just reported. Halfley said, you know what? After the hour and 13 minutes of stretching, let's get right into it. We ain't got no time. I don't want to hear nothing about there was a play that's missed. He showed he wanted to get those guys and get right into the playbook and see what those guys have been doing. I absolutely love it. He is a no-nonsense. I said it earlier in the space. Tone, I don't know if you were in there when I was saying it. I don't think you were. Halfley has hit home run after home run after home run when he talks, right? And what have a person like me, Tone, been saying it? We've all set it up here, right? Talking is cheap. We used to say it with the old regime, all kind of people. We're done with the talking. Show us. Halfley showed up today in day one. He's been a man of his word. Everything he said he was going to do, he did, right? I love the approach of starting practice with the 11 on 11 because it shows, hey, let's just get to work. In the NFL, I don't know if anybody knows that they don't play 7 on 7. This is not flag football. It's 11 on 11, right? He wanted to get right into that. And from the aspect of how he runs practice, I don't know. I'm not there. Obviously, Tone will be there Sunday. We can go and buy all other people's reports that were there. I'll say this about Jeff Halfley, though, when I said about his talking. It seems to me, well, I'll say it like this. He reminds me of any coach that used to coach me that was like this. Again, when we had the Brian Flores conversations and even the Mike McDaniel, and I liked Mike McDaniel. Don't get me wrong, y'all know this. It feels like Halfley is a no-nonsense kind of guy by everything he says and how he moves. I do think, and that's why I've constantly said this to you guys, I think the soft stigma is over. I don't think this is going to be a weak-minded football team, a soft-minded. I don't think that at all. And I think that does start with Halfley. Now, it's up to the players to continue that because, me and Tono would say players create the culture, right? But you got to get it from somewhere. And I think the no-nonsense way of how Halfley moved, at least in my opinion, how he has sounded interview after interview, And I think listening to him again, the way he approaches the game, he sounds like he understands what it takes to be a winner. I said this earlier again in the space. I don't know Tone Finsanity, what he's going to be as a head coach. I don't know that, right? None of us know that. I do think we have a pretty good idea of the man he is, though, right? Unless he's just Harvey Two-Face and he's lying at every point, and we'll see later that he's just a fraud. But today where we stand, I can't say that. Heffley seems like he's a man of his word. I think he has the right tone. Ready for this? Finsanity? The right mindset. That's what he has for me, right? I don't know about the coaching yet, but everything else, I can't lie, Tone and Finsanity. I know I was kind of trolling Tone and some others about getting too excited. I'm not jumping out the window yet, but Heffley and from how he's trying to build it, the vision. I'll say that my last statement about it, the vision of how he envisions the team, I do appreciate that approach because that's the approach I've been wanting for this team for years. And I'll just say that I salute to Heffley, especially with the 11-on-11, though, Insanity. I think that was, I think that's the right way. That's the right approach. Show these guys we're not here to play. We're here to work early, right off the bat. So I enjoyed it. I like it.
Wow. I'm not going to lie. I tried to set him up, Insanity.
I know he did.
That man,
and I already knew he was set me up.
Hey, Lou, I
had setting me up. I knew. I
had this ready for you, Lou. Look, I was going to say,
man, sit your dumb ass down.
I had it ready.
You see
I'm
how
gonna
you
cut you off mid.
You see?
I'm not gonna lie. I was shocked. And I'll go hood week and bamboozle and swindle y'all because Lou was giving me a hard time in the spaces about being positive, but I got news for y'all, and I know people, y'all should know me by now. I would be an absolute hypocrite if y'all thought I was going to come out here and tell you and be just happy-go-lucky. Because I do remember. See, I have a good memory, and I stand on everything I say. How many times did I come out here and tell y'all these people in the media been feeding us some BS from day one? From day one, they feed us BS. And y'all thought I was going to come out here and go with everything that they said in practice and say, yeah, see, Lou, that's why they had a good practice. I'm going to tell you what I got. The first thing, let me answer your question about the 11-on-11. Love that approach. Love that approach. You know what I love? Why I love that approach? It's like a pop quiz. Mm-hmm. What have y'all been doing when y'all wasn't here? Who's taking this serious? Who's perfecting their craft when they're not around? Now, then we hear that Malik Willis held the camp up in Jacksonville, invited everyone. It was a 2 week, right? A 2 or 3 week time he was up there and gave enough people time. If you can't come this week, come that week. If you have options, and they said about 6 or 7 players showed up. So that's about all the receivers in the room if you think about it. So I think that was a good sign. And also the fact that I think Lou said it best. We don't play 7-on-7 in NFL. And you're not going to have time to warm up with the 7-on-7 drill before you get out there. So throw them in the situation and see how they react, because it's hard to simulate actual gameplay, but you can put them in situations. Let's see how you react. Fresh coming out. Okay, boom. Let's go 11-on-11. Let's who's prepared? What if it's injury happened and you have to be thrust in the game? Are you ready? Have you been preparing like you're going to start, or you're going to be the guy? I think those type of things are good for understanding a coach and his mentality and getting players ready for every situation. Bill Belichick was well known for his attention to details. You'd be like we don't look at it from that standpoint, but he did. He didn't take nothing for granted. Everything to where when you're on the yard line and you got them backed up, look for the strong count or the hard count. Why? They're only gonna miss a half an inch. So, of course, they don't care if anyone jump off sides. Little small nuances like that, people don't pay attention to, but it's him getting you ready for that. These, those are the things that I'm like, okay, some of this stuff you can't be taught. Now, as far as everything that we heard coming out, right, from out of the camp and how they perform and things of that nature, I believe a lot of people should already be expecting this type of stuff. You're going to have the positive people that come out. And Lou said it earlier. We had one guy come out, and every single thing everyone did the right thing on the right play. Chris Johnson got beat, but he was in a perfect position. What happened. You understand? Oh, there was an interception, but it was the backup, and the linebacker made a great play. The receiver ran the right route. Like, there was no accountability being had. And I think the more and more I hear Jeff Hafley come out and talk, I believe these beat writers are going to have to change their approach. Because some of them are still under that Mike McDaniel positively all the time approach. And what y'all are saying are not coinciding with Hafley is saying when they interview him. He's telling us about the things that he needs to be worked on. He's telling us about the things that he's seeing out there that need to be corrected and why he did things. Like, he literally said, oh, I wanted to see what players was working on, when everyone else was coming out here praising everything. So his approach to what he's doing in training camp, I think you can see the difference in mentality. And that is very key and very important, because if you don't got the mentality to get people or your players to understand this is the type of mindset that you need to have if you're going to be successful being coached under me. If I want to coach you, you got to have this mindset. You got to be ready and prepared for everything, no matter what the situation. Because typically what they do, they come out and they ease into, all teams do it. It's not like, we're the only ones, but all teams come out, they go in their one-on-one drills, right? Then they might go into individuals, and then they go into 7-on-7. Have to say, no, screw all that. 11-on-11s. I need you to be ready at all times. Great approach. Great. Keep them on their toes. Let them know you need to be prepared, because I'm going to test you. Didn't he come out and say the guys that said they want to get better, he's going to put them to the test?
Mm-hmm.
Seemed like he man of his word, right? Man didn't waste no time putting them to the test. He didn't waste a single second putting them to the test. Go ahead. Who knows the playbook? Who went back home and studied over when y'all had that layoff? Now, I'm happy everyone made, pass the conditioning test, so that at least they passed that. But he also wanted to know, okay, can you pass the test of understanding the playbook? Because it's not his job to get them to learn the playbook. It's their job. If we remember, I don't know if y'all remember, when they played that video when they were leaving for the first break, and he was talking to all of them, and he said, we have to get in the playbook and learn the plays. What did he say? It's going to be difficult. It's going to be hard. So you have to be able to want to do the extra work. What did he say? If you got to go to your positional coaches to learn, go do that. If you got to go and study extra so you can get into it, go through that. Go do that. He told them that. And then first practice, he wanted to see who was listening to him. I love it. I'm not going to lie. I love it. You understand? I absolutely listen. The players have to go and execute, but the way he's making them prove themselves and keeping them on their toes, I don't think the people that can't keep up are going to be here they're not going to last long. It truly seems like they're not going to last long, because why is he running them through this test? Why is he testing them? It looks like he's trying to weed out the players that aren't going to make it and that don't have the right mindset. What was their message of why they like their draft? No matter what we said, what was the reasoning behind that? We got a lot of guys mentally paired. I think we got a lot of mental tough players that are smart football guys. That's what they said. So we can clearly see their vision, what they're looking for, and understand I'm not only talking that talk, I'm walking it how I talk it. And I listen, I can't do nothing but appreciate that, But as far as these people that coming out and making it seem like these players haven't, everything is good. And you know what I noticed, and I pointed this out. You have some over there, everything is positive. Mm-hmm. You got your Omar Kelly's in the world, nothing is ever good enough. Right? And then everybody like, oh, we need to come to a happy medium. No, we're going to do like I always been doing. When I get out there, I'm going to tell y'all. I'm going to let y'all know if that throw that was so nice and he went up and grabbed it. My first question was, why did he have to jump over the cornerback? Did Malik throw a good pass that time? Or did Caleb Douglas have to go out and make a play against it? Right? Because if he say the cornerback was all over his back, but he still made the play. Was it underthrown? Because you got the cornerback beat, he's not going to have time to jump all over your back unless he have to slow down for the pass. Am I right? Am I on bases or am I making sense?
Mm-hmm.
Those are what I look for, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I'm not thinking Lou usually pick up on it. Yeah, I'll be in spaces, but when I get over here, it's real deal. It's a real deal. I'll be trying to piss you off, you know. But yeah, no, I pay attention to the detail. That type of stuff makes me like, oh, he had to slow down. See, y'all learn one thing about me. It's 35 of y'all still in the building, right? Hit the like button, hit the subscribe. If y'all learn one thing about me, if I'm a fan on you, you get critiqued tough. I'm very tough on the people that I like. So if I see something that I like, if that pass is underthrown, I'm sorry, I got to call you out because what did I say I like about Patrick Paul? He look on that film and say, I'm trying to see what I did wrong. The right is that's what expected of me. Mm-hmm. If I'm proud of doing what expected, then I don't plan on getting good. I do not plan on not good, getting better. I always took that approach to everything. If I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to do and I'm getting everything right, boom, 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 and I'm proud of that, I'm not looking for a way to get better. Because this is what I'm supposed to do. This is my job. I'm supposed to know this. The thing you be proud of is going above and beyond and learning new, consistently improving yourself. That's how I look at these type of things. And the fact that we haven't came out and had one, I'm gonna be real. We haven't had one time they say, man, Malik had a spectacular throw that right on the money. Now is the time to start getting worried. Like, okay, my brother, you put all that time out there with them, you know, in Jacksonville. It needs to start showing up in training camp and on the practice field, or you might not be good enough to be good enough. And that's just 100. I'm just saying, and we'll talk a lot more when we get into that quarterback segment. But yeah, but for overall, I like the mentality of Halfley. I cannot stand the mentality of these beat writers that we getting from coming out of camp. I ain't gonna be bamboozled in Hill Week. But go ahead.
Hey, Vincent, you're definitely going. Okay. I just want to point out, just again, right? Just something real quick. Now, Tone told, now there's 33 people in here, right? Hit the like button and subscribe. Now, Tone just told them, right, Vincenity, right? He said, learn something about me. I learned something about him. And I want those other people to learn something about him. Did you hear when the man said, all he wants to do is piss me off?
Yes.
Did you hear when the man said that?
I wonder if that was going to make it to the shorts.
That's what I'm saying.
I would go recommend it.
I'm going to clip that part. Clip it. I'm going to put that in there. Yeah.
Vincent, the man said all kind of great stuff. And then he said, I'll just try to piss Lou off. That's what he said. That's crazy. But you know what, Vincent, I took up enough time. Go ahead. Do your thing.
No, listen. Both of you guys, 100% amazing. Lou, I can't remember if it was in a space or on the last show. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe, and please vote on that poll. You asked us a question. Which install are they going to be on? Lou, I'm not saying they listen to you. I'm not saying someone in that room or in this room or on Twitter or X, wherever you want to call it, is a stand of yours. But it seems like when you mention something or put a question out there, for some odd reason, we get an answer. Are you ready to go? But listen, Halfley spoke. And when he spoke, there was a point when he said, we're going live. And he meant live tackling with the pads. And this, to me, starting with 11 on 11 is indicative. Are you ready to go? So when we put those pads on, you know what you're supposed to do. Respectfully, you can't play fast. You can't play that way or practice that way if you don't know what your assignments are or what you're supposed to be doing out there on the field. I think that this is very much indicative of the type of culture that he wants. And like these guys said, they want tough practices. They want hard practices. We're going to get into some of the guys that spoke in a second. But there's something about his approach with this that just says, I'm ready for football. Are you ready for football? Everybody has had that itch for football. We had FIFA. We had the NBA finals. We had all that. But what has every fan been looking for? their team to be back on the field. And for him to come out, and especially with a particularly young team, when we understand how hard, to Tony's point, learning that playbook couldn't be, and to give them a test on that, on 11-11s, you call the play and you go out there and you execute it. You call the defense and you go out there to your sign. There's no, hey, coach, where am I supposed to be? You can't go to nobody except for maybe one of your players and be like, but it puts the leadership to the test, because now are they ready on the field to get their guys ready? You don't get that, okay, guys, you don't get that time where you get to just, no, green dot, this is what we running. Malik, this is the play call. And listen, the play clock is still running. It's quick. How fast are you reacting? So I'm not going to spend too much time on it because you guys were 100% on the nail. Padded practices are going to be amazing. And I don't know if Achane is going to get a red jersey. I'm pretty sure Malik will have one, or the quarterbacks in general are going to have one. But everyone else, fair game. It's going to be fun. Tony.
Yes.
Do you have anything else you would like to say, since you like to set Lewis up?
I absolutely do.
Okay.
First thing I want to address my good brother Von Joe. He said not necessarily he could have shielded off the ball, or it could have been good defense, not necessarily a bad pass. It could have been good offense beat good defense. That could be it also, Tony H. What you think? I think that could. That falls into possibilities. However, that's cool if we want to look at everything positive. So no, you're right. It could have been a comeback route. They didn't specify what kind of route it was, but the fact that he had to go up and pluck the ball away from the defender, something went wrong there. If it was a comeback route, you still shouldn't have to pluck it away from the defender. That's all I'm saying. Because let's just say it's a comeback route. That's a bad play, because everyone knows on comeback routes, by the time that receiver turned around, that ball should be already ready for him so he shouldn't have to pluck it on the defender. It should have been there. Should have been a catch and then get tackled immediately if it's on time. That's the first thing. So, but it could have been whatever route it was. Now this one is what I want. Hey, Lou, you see this one, Lou, right here, Lou?
Oh yeah, for sure.
You see, AJ said halfly run practice like flow. I know we want to get into that, don't we?
Yeah, that's what we was about to get into.
Well, before we get into that, I just want to say, to Tony's point, though, right, about how people in the community, and I think someone else said it in the chat, people just want to hear all the positives, right? And I get it from a fan perspective. I get it. You know, one thing we didn't hear today that, it caught my attention. Do you know there was referees out there today at practice?
No, I didn't know that.
Oh.
Yeah, there was referees.
I heard even got a false start. Go ahead.
I even got numbers, Tone. When we get into the quarterbacks thing, I got numbers for everybody.
Oh, okay.
But to your point, Tone, there was a false start today on the offensive line. There was also a holding today on that offensive line. And then one of my favorites, Caleb Douglas. What did we hear when we drafted him? One of the concerns with Caleb Douglas was concentration drops.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, Tone? Finsanity? Key word here is concentration. Because Finsanity, what you said was, Halfley came out and wanted to see, well, all of us said it, wanted to see who was ready, who was not. Yep. And we all know, and I've said it, I think for the Dolphins to win games this season, it's going to have to be where we look. Remember the Atlanta game last season where everything went right for Miami? It was like a perfect game. Cool. Caleb Douglas with concentration issues today. You know he had a false start today?
I heard he had a false start. Yep.
Now, see, that wasn't reported, Tone, Finsanity. We didn't hear nothing about no false starts. We didn't hear nothing about no holdings. We didn't hear nothing about, the false start. False starts, holding penalties, that gets you behind the chains. Right? For a running team that wants, we all know when you run the ball, you know what you want to do? Be ahead of the chains. On first down, you want it to be 2nd and 4, right? You want a 6-yard run on first down. Get you ahead of the chains. False starts, holding penalties, and things of concentration that is not on a coach, right? That's on player execution. That has to be cleaned up. So I just wanted to point that out because I heard Tone bring it up about just people always want to hear the positive. Well, no, I'm not that kind of person, Tone of Insanity. I want to hear the real, good and bad, right? So I just wanted to point out there were some things that that definitely need to be cleaned up for sure.
Which should be expected, right? If you're going to be honest, it should be. There should not be a time where we come out and we hear and it seemed like this practice was amazing. A perfect practice. There was nothing to complain about, nothing to clean up. Not even at the end of the season do you have practices like that. Like, so I can't, Sunday, first day live, I can't wait to get out there and see with my own 2 eyes. I am, anxious to get out there to see how this look and this new practice, the approach to it. I do want to point this out for Cindy and Lou, right? Omar did point out. Was it Omar? I'm sorry. I'm probably, I don't know who it was, but one of the beat writers did point out it's 10 minutes afterwards. It might be with David or no, it was Travis Wingfield. It was Travis Wingfield. Travis. 10 minutes after the practice and no one had left yet. Everyone was out there still working. That is a good. Now that's the part where I'm giving 100% positivity because you remember what did I say? I want to see if people are staying after practice and working on their craft. Remember I said that? That's what I'm going to be looking for because I didn't think they was going to give us that type of information. And the first practice, they had people out there staying out and perfecting their craft. So I'll give them a plus on that because that's one of the things that I wanted to pay attention to and I was going to look forward to and look for. And it already's been answered for me. So it's a good sign. If you want to build camaraderie, you only have a finite amount of time to practice. And it's the first year. Every single rep count. Use your time wisely. A wise person once told me, everyone have the same 24 hours in a day. How efficient are you using your time? And that's it. Are you getting the most out of your time or are you wasting it? Some people get the job done. I used to go to the gym at 4:00 in the morning. And I just talked to this individual who's a businessman, well off. And he said, you want to know how I became wealthy and I always seem like I'm ahead? He said, because I'm done working out, studying, and preparing for my day before the average human being wakes up in the morning to get their day started. And that to me, that struck. I'm like, And it reminded me when I was told everyone has the same 24 hours. How are you using your time? So yeah, okay, 3.5. That's for the coaches. Y'all can stay over 10, 30 more minutes and get this done. Y'all remember that story that I told over here about the Tom Brady and Teddy Bruschi? It was so heated that Bill Belichick had to force them to go in because they didn't want to stop. That's players. Competition, one to get perfected. And even after they left, Tom Brady went to Teddy Bruschi and said, okay, come show me what you were talking about. And they went in the film room. So, yeah, that I just wanted to give kudos to them for, staying out there and going the extra yard and at least showing that they care and they want to get this done and jump started as quick as possible.
Real quick, I just want to highlight this. True Fin Fan asks, are the people that only want positivity outlooks, and I'm assuming an insult to the real fans? I'm gonna just stop right there because he says basically if you can answer the question. Well, I'm gonna answer it for you, True Fan, in my opinion. I don't think it's an insult to the fans because for me, I don't really care what people like that. Just the positive that, they just have their orange and aqua glasses on. I don't care about those people. Who I think it's an insult to is the players, though. That's who I think it's an insult to. Because I've never been the type of person that just wants someone to blow smoke up my ass to make me feel like I've made it. Because then I can never get better. You see what I'm saying? If I have a bad day on this show or I have a bad day on any other platform and my brother or sister up here with me hears me, I want them to say, hey, that's a bad look, dog.
Yeah.
What the hell you doing? Because that's going to make me be better. So that's the only way I can answer it. Tone Vincent, I don't know if you want to take that. But again, it's not, for me, it's not an insult to the fans. It's an insult to the football team because of we've seen it right? Our last quarterback, when you patted him on his butt and you kissed him on his forehead, that's what he wanted. He didn't want reality, though.
Yeah, don't
There was
forget.
other players in this building that they wanted their backs be patted, right? For all the good. You couldn't tell them none bad. Those kind of people and those kind of players, they never get better, in my opinion. So that's the only way I can answer Truth and Trans question.
You want to go for Sandy, or you want me to go?
You can go, Tony.
Me, I wouldn't use the word insult. I don't think a positive fan are insult to anyone, because I'm a big component on let fans fan how they fan. Right? We did this show and we started to do this content because we wanted to be the ones to give out honest content, because we did notice that majority of the content that was out there was 100% positive. There was on rare occasions where you had people, giving the real and telling you the things that they need to work on and give you the negative feedback. But I wouldn't say it's insulting, because I know some fans that every time they look at the team, they hope for the best. They always look on the bright side, and that's just how they fan. They enjoy the game. I remember, I don't know if I was on here. I don't know if I told it here, but I know I told it in the space. I took one of my homeboys, one of my coworkers, to the game, and we was getting blowed out. And he stayed all the way to the very end. He kept on saying, "Nah, Tony, it's time on the clock, and we still got a chance to come back." And I don't know if I remember telling him, I'm like, well, I was like, I'm gonna be upstairs at the bottom, my good brother. Come get me when we done. But I wouldn't say he was insulting to anyone. I would just say, that's the type of way they fan. They always got hope. I don't fan like that, because I think, we have to be clicking to reality. But he's a great football man. He really is. And a good thing I'll give to him, he admit the fact. He like, nah, Tone, when it's game time, I'm always positive. Afterward, I evaluate it and see what's going on and what went wrong. But nah, man, my hope, that's just how I fan. I'll always be like that. He said, unless it's getting blowed out and it's 3 minutes, I'm gonna stay there and hope that they could come back, and hopefully that miracle could come. And I just so happen, to stay for the miracle in Miami against the Miami Miracle against the Patriots. I was there. I stayed there to the end, and I went crazy. So I wouldn't say it's an insult. I would say, from a content standpoint, I don't think it does justice if you're trying to inform fans. I would say that, because you're going based off your personal experience, and you can enjoy this team how you want. Long as you're not throwing it off on people, because I think I get what you're saying, Lou. The positive fans, typically, when you don't have things positive to say, they want to insult you or think you're insulting the team and saying that, oh, you're not a real fan because you saying something negative about the team. Mm-hmm. That's how you get better. So I would never say insulting, because everyone fan differently, but that's how I would answer it. True fan.
For me, I was one of those positive fans, like, believe it or not, hence why my name is what it is. I was insanely, I still am insanely crazy about this team, but I'm from New Jersey, and the one thing every year, and like, I have people who can tell you this, I'd be like, the Dolphins are winning the division this year. Like, you could not convince me, no matter what our roster looked like. I had the truest belief. Don't even smile.
Go ahead.
That this team was gonna. I didn't care that Tom Brady was on the Patriots. I didn't care. Like, no matter what. Like, and you can go back on our history and how bad we did at times, right? But I really felt like going every Sunday, we had a chance to win. And I'll just be looking forward to just watching the Dolphins play. Like, that was outside of, going to church. After church, it was football, always football for me. And that's how I formulated, like, my real love for this team, like, deeply rooted in it, with the good, the bad, the horrible. Listen, when we won the one game, it was a crazy moment for me, because I'm like, we didn't lose every game.
Yeah,
like,
I celebrated I celebrated real good.
I was celebrating. I remember that touchdown pass. Like, I was jumping. I remember where I was. But if you're gonna be a positive fan, just be able to understand and just handle sometimes the results, because sometimes you do get so off the cliff, to say, to where, like, things can get really, what's the name? And yeah, just don't don't think that because people don't think like you that they're wrong, or that because people do think like you that they're right. Everyone has a different experience with this team. When I started getting on camera and people wanted to be the receipt police, it's a lot different, and you have to kind of come back into like the norm or the reality, as they say, of what your team actually is. And I really had to start seeing the team for what it is. But if you go back to my earlier content, I was talking about how we could run our way, literally, like one of my first conversation with TD was like, yeah, I really believe like if we run the ball and play sound defense, we can find a way to win these games. Positive. Did we do that? No, but but that's besides the point. Those are years removed. If you want to be positive, be positive. It's fun when you're positive and you want this team to win and be successful, and you find a way to formulate how this team can be great. I've been there, but be able to handle the highs and the lows very well. So that's all I have to say. If you can do that, then do it your way. Go your own way. You guys ready to get back into the game? Sorry, that was a great question. Was that?
Yes, we can. Yes.
Okay.
Wait,
Tony.
hold on. I can't find it. Go ahead. Someone asked about. I'll just answer it. Someone asked about how was the pass rush. I think it was Cookie Monster.
Yes.
Cookie Monster. When they don't have on shoulder pads and they don't have pads on, the pass rush will always look better than it actually is, because the offensive line is at a disadvantage without the pass rush. So I just want to mention that part.
Okay. To Lewis's point, and someone in the comment section, Austin Jackson said that Hafley runs his practices kind of like Flo. Tony, how do you feel about those comments from Austin Jackson and any other comments that he made during his press today?
Well, you know what? And I know Luke kind of had an issue with it. Me personally, I agree with one part. You didn't have to bring up Flo.
Right.
If they didn't directly ask you about it, you didn't have to bring it up, because we know that sparks controversy. That's the part that I didn't like. But as far as him saying he liked the practices and saying that it's kind of like Flo, maybe he learned that these soft practices is not what make you better. And you're not going to, last in this league without someone pushing you and forcing you to always be looking to improve. You should always be looking to improve. All the greats look for something to improve on. Find something that they could do better. Find something that could motivate them. And these are the type of players, or this is the type of mindset that I want these players to have. Maybe that'll help them out to stay healthy. Hey, listen, tough. You know why? I look at it, right? Back in the day, there weren't these many injuries. But the team, the sport was way more vicious and ferocious. And think about that. It was way violent, more violent in the back in the days. But you know what? Practice was violent. 2-3 a days. So your body used to it. You adapt. So when you end up in playing time, a game, actual game, you're used to going full speed ahead. People do not understand this. For them to narrow down the amount of full speed practices they can have, that's not necessarily a positive thing. That was collectively bargained, right, on and agreed on. And that's come from a player standpoint, because obviously, oh no, it's too tough players. That tells me all I need about the mindset. Need to know about the mindset of this new generation of players. Chad Johnson said all the time, listen, man, I always worked out, but I ate what I wanted. I never got I never got injured. You know what he said? He said, because if I got to run up against people, I can't it's not all about just having straight muscle, because if you have straight muscle, it's easy to break. But you have a little weight to it, you have some give. He looked at it from that standpoint, understanding what it needs to do to be able to withstand the full impact of football. And I think that's the type of mindset these players need to have when it comes to how you practice and how tough you should go and what's expected for you. Because do y'all see that? Fitz and Lou, y'all can answer me this question. Do y'all find it a coincidence that we're having way more injuries than we ever had? Just look at it. players coming in today, and we lost what 2-3 players all the way down with ACLs and PCLs and all kind of injuries because they're not used to going tough. It's the most difficult thing to start from 0 and then go 100%. You can't go 0 to 100. Even when you're doing workouts, you got to warm up first. I think you got to take that same mindset when it comes to practicing. You got to practice hard, tough practices. So when you get in the game and it's a grind and them people over there trying to take your head off, you're used to it. I'm used to it. When we tell our stories, you go back to the Florida Gators, you go back to the Baltimore Ravens, that Tampa Bay team that had that in 2002, that 2000 Baltimore Raven team, those teams that they would consider great. Talk to them about their practices. And they'll tell you, when it came to game time, that was the easy part. Our practice was the grueling part. So, listen, he said he liked it. I'm glad he said it, but he was one of the ones that were complaining about Brian Flores. So he could have left that part out. But I do want to point out a common denominator. Every time players are asked about the different style of athlete, every single person said everything is done with intent, which means he's not whatever he have you doing. There's a reason for it, and I don't know if that's a call out to Mike McDaniel or Brian Flores or whoever they called it out. But it seemed like every player noticed there was some things that we were doing that were just unnecessary. We're going through the motions. Everything we do here, you're going to be held accountable for, and you're going to be tested on. And that's the common denominator that I'm listening to and I'm hearing from every single player when asked about the difference between Hafley, how he run things, and the way that they're used to with either one of the previous head coaches. So I just wanted to point that part out.
I agree with everything Tone said, but I really wish we were on a different platform while talking about this subject.
That's that, y'all.
Yeah. Tone Finsanity, how old is Austin Jackson?
I think he's 28.
28. Yeah, I was about to say 27, 28, something like that. And the only reason I ask.
26.
26.
Okay, 26. How long do you think Austin Jackson's been playing the game of football?
Ooh, at minimum 10, 15 years.
Okay.
Depending on if he started at Pop 1 and things like that.
Right. So I was about to say anywhere between 12 to 15 years, Tom. So I'm with you. Because I've heard a lot of people say, well, maybe he learned. Tom, both of my sons played Pop Warner football. You know what they learned in Pop Warner football? Tough practices, make you tough, make you better. So I don't need a 27, 20, or 26-year-old man telling me, or people telling me now that this 26-year-old man learned. The fact of the matter is, Tone, you said it. Austin Jackson was one of the ones that had a problem with Brian Flores. Now, I don't know if it was practice. I don't know what it was, but I know he had a problem with him. So what I'm saying is, and we said it the other day on the show, why does it seem like certain players, right, can't let past regimes go?
Yeah.
Austin Jackson didn't have to mention, oh, this practice seems very familiar or similar to Brian Flores. You know what he could have said? He could have gave Jeff Hafley, his new head coach, all the credit in the world. He could have came out and said, hey, I feel healthy. I feel 100%. I've never had my body in this great of a shape. And Jeff Hafley, day one, he had everybody ready to go. He was energetic. He was fired up. He ran a good practice. He could have said that and praised Jeff Hafley. He talking about, oh, it's similar to Brian Flores. But that's the same guy you wanted out of here. You know, instead of people telling me that maybe Austin Jackson learned something today, you know, as a Dolphin fan, I wish Austin Jackson would have learned something 7 years ago. Because maybe if Austin Jackson would have known something 7 years ago or learned something 7 years ago, we would have had a playoff win. Maybe we still might have had the similar coach still in the building. But the crybaby that Austin Jackson was, he cried when it got too tough. That's all I'm going to say about Austin Jackson, because I can't say what I really want to say. If you want to hear my thoughts, go back to a space earlier, or maybe come into the spaces tomorrow, so I can really tell you how I feel about. I'll just say this: Austin Jackson might be wearing house shoes. I'll say that.
Mm. And I would lead end it off like this. And Vincent, I don't know if you want to jump in here, right? The thing about what you just said, Lou, if you listen to Jeff Hafley, when they asked him about his coaching and his coaching style, you remember he didn't care what nobody said. He said he wanted to do it his way and he just want to win.
Facts.
You remember when they asked him what he learned from prior coach? He was like, "Man, I'm trying to do it my way." Like he said that. So he seemed to have the right mindset, and he don't care what no other regime did. He don't care about the people that he worked under. He like clarified all that. He like, no, you know, I can learn something from here and learn something from there. Remember what he said? He said, yeah, but you keep quoting things, but do you really believe that? He like, I don't want to be giving you quotes that I learned from other people and I don't believe in myself. It didn't have no meaning behind it. So I think he addressed that too. Like, he don't care about what the previous regime was or what did you like from any other coach or what. This is my way, and I'm going to do it my way. Either accept it or keep it moving. And he said that at the beginning. He reiterated that again when they asked him the question about, you know, how he's going to run his training camp. So that is a good point right there. Sanity.
I'm going to try not to be as harsh at all. You know, I'm going to try to be cool. It seems like he is a individual that is swayed and wants to just be teacher pettish. I think a part of it when he was maybe critical before, unless he was just trying to go with the crowd. He doesn't seem like he stands on anything. He just goes with whatever it is. He says the right things. And, you know, if you like being coached hard now, maybe you've matured. Maybe you've realized that the way it was when it was very comfortable and easy for you does not make you better, does not help you, because even within that regime, you were always consistently hurt. You were very rarely seen on the field. You didn't get to play much. So we will see what comes from this for you particular, Austin, because the one thing that this fan base wants from you is to be on the field and to be available. So hopefully it yields great results for you. I'm glad you're embracing it now. And I would love to see when he's supposed to get paid. Anyway, let's get into the next segment, because this is something that I really want to, hold on one second, hear from you guys. We good? Are we good? Good. Okay. Lewis, you said you had some numbers for us when we got to the QB room, so I would definitely love to hear those numbers. So let's start with you. How do you feel the quarterbacks performed today? And were you impressed with Malik Willis?
Well, impressed. Probably not impressed, but I'll start with the bottom half first. I'm not going to get into the Cam Millers and the other guys. Like, who cares, right?
Right.
Quinn Ewers was terrible.
Facts.
He from supposedly by all reports, he threw an interception today. Had a couple other missed throws. They say he just looked like he didn't belong on the field, right? He looked terrible. So there you go for our backup quarterback. Now, Malik Willis, he was 6 for 9, right? People could say that's very impressive, this, that, and the third. And again, only the 6 completions, 3 incompletions. Again, completion percentage is where you want to be. He had a good day, but there were some misnomers that, you know, there was, I guess, a 25-yard deep pass. According to what, you know, some other beat reporters that were there said, there was no deep passes like that. He was 6 for 9. I believe he hit, we had talked about it earlier, Caleb Douglas on where Chris Johnson had great coverage, right? We got that one. But one of the incompletions was, and again, this is what was said, had Malik Washington streaking up the middle, and he overthrew him by, well, not overthrew him. The ball was 2 feet over his head. That
was Tutu Atwell.
Well, it might have been Tutu Atwell.
Yeah, the one that was 2 feet. Yeah, that was Tutu Atwell. Yeah, they say he was streaking wide and it was 2 feet. Mm-hmm.
Okay, well there you go. And again, this is a big deal. No, every quarterback's going to miss. I made that argument for Tua. I made that argument for a lot of quarterbacks. I'm going to make it for Malik Willis. I'll say the same thing about Malik that I said about Jeff Hafley earlier. When he gets in front of a microphone, his leadership qualities, I can see how people are infected to that. Like Tone talked about it earlier, calling receivers to go work out with him in Jacksonville and stuff. He's showing all the leadership qualities. He's saying all the right things. But these are the things right here that, again, it's not a major. It's day one, Tone, of insanity of training camp, right? But if we're going to go with the practice makes perfect, right? You're going to play how you practice, right? If that's what we're going to say, I cannot hear, and I'm sorry, this is just trying to be objective without killing Malik Willis, because, again, 6 for 9, he had a good day. You cannot have a streaking wide receiver running wide open and the ball sail over his head 2 feet. You can't have that, because when I hear that tone of insanity, right, in practice, like today, it's not a big deal, right? Like I said, I'm not making it a big deal. But if that's week 1, that's 7 points. And the way that I think this team might struggle at times and points to score points, you can't leave points on the field. Right? And let's be honest, Malik Willis don't have the resume, right, to where, hey, man, don't worry about it. We know what Malik is. We don't, hey, you know what? Malik's good. We don't have that. There's people that have said Malik Willis has 1 year to show this team what they have, because, again, if this team is not winning games, and let's say it has the possibility of a top 3 pick, number 1 overall, top 5, fell in the top 10. There's a lot of people that have said if Malik don't show nothing year 1, this team needs to go get a quarterback. All I'm saying is, you know what determines this team going to get a quarterback in the draft? Missing wide open receivers, air mailing balls. That will get another quarterback in here quick. So not over concerning, right? And again, 6 for 9. He had according to the people that were there, Tone of Insanity, he was head and shoulders better than anybody in that quarterback room. I think we can all agree with that, right? And 6 for 9, I'll take 6 completions over 3 incompletions. I'll take that any day of the week, twice on Sunday. There are things that Malik has to work on, and I would say missing wide open receivers is one of them. So it is what it is. But the overall quarterback room, listen, I don't think we all think there's no competition. Malik's going to be the starter. I do think he'll clean things like that up. It's only day 1 of practice, but I got to call a spade a spade. That's not what I want to hear. A wide open receiver streaking? Nah, bro. We got to hit that 10 out of 10 times. I'm sorry.
I just want to start with this comment. Tony Neer in the building. Shout out to you, Jamaican from Zion. Shout out to my good brother.
You know, I just want to clear one thing up, because I know that you're typically in the chat. We don't call them Tony Neers. We call them minions. So
no. Hold on. He could call himself what he wants.
He's a minion. Let's call him
dictate what he wants. Why? Oh my God. He can call himself what he wants.
He can call himself whatever he wants, but we call him minion. He can call himself whatever he wants. I
listen, man. At the end of the day,
if he don't want to be considered a minion, then that's okay. But come on, Tony, let's be real. Let's keep it consistent. What do we call your followers? Your minions. That's all.
Hey, my good brother, listen, man. Listen.
Thank you.
I know about the memes, but hey, listen. Hey, just go with the flow, my good brother. That's all I'll tell you. That's all. Tony, we got all kind of nicknames, man. Tony. All right, cool. But listen, I think that was well. They all in there. I think that was well said. Be honest with you, the one what you pointed out with the Tutu Atwell, you hit that 10 out of 10 times. I do think you know, and I'm not going to be as harsh as Lou is, right? And I don't think it was harsh. I think it was honest. I do think you want to hit that 10 out of 10 times. In practice is where you want to miss it, though. That's what I would say. But, Lou, you remember you brought up those Shedeur highlights earlier? And that second one, right? It looked like he turned all the way around for a punt. It looked like a punt return. You remember that, Lou?
Absolutely. Yep.
I would prefer him throw that pass like that rather than overshoot a wide open player.
I agree, Tom.
Because the same criticism that we had with Tua trying to be perfect on every throw, I don't want Malik to fall into that same, you know, rhythm as far as trying to be perfect on every throw and lead every receiver. We know Tutu is fast. He's a burner. And you're like, hey, just throw it out there. You can't overthrow him. But sometimes if it's there, just take it. You know, so I agree with you on that. But going 6 for 9 and having an efficient day, I'm not gonna complain about it. You know, these are the type of things that we're looking for. And we're big over here with, you know, context. And he has a strong arm. We know that. Steve pointed out he might have the strongest arm in the league. That's Josh Allen included. You know, I forgot about the one where he was on the knee and threw that ball about 70, 80 yards on one knee. I forgot that was him. So we know he got a rocket attached to his shoulder. But basketball is about precision and touch, accuracy. Right? So I'd rather you be accurate. And I do know there's been a lot of people that's been saying, oh, Malik hasn't been impressive in training camp. Wow, because he took a lot of check downs. I watched one of the quarterbacks that we think could give Tom Brady a run for being the greatest quarterback of all time, win 2 Super Bowls, being a check down Charlie. I watched a quarterback that we consider the greatest of all time win 5 Super Bowls. Now, I'll say like around 4 of them, being a check down Charlie. So I am not going to hate on him because he takes what the defense gives you. Isn't that what we taught? If you ever taught football, if you ever watched it a lot, if you study the sport of football, they always say take what the defense gives you. So these, you know, the beat writers and, you know, some of the people in the fan base that wants to be, you know, wild with those throws that we used to get out of training camp with the deep, pretty little passes. I will remind y'all, we always ask the same question every time. How often do you see them passes in an NFL game? When we say how you got a strong arm, how often are you throwing a 70-yard bomb?
Not
a
many.
50-yard bomb, 40-yard. You're not.
No.
We would want you to hit them when it's available to you. But I would never come out here and criticize the quarterback for always taking the yards. You understand? Teams have never lost a game by doing that. Most of them lose games by doing too much, right? But that's why I say I do agree with Lewis. When that deep shot is available to you, hit it. You got to take advantage of it. You know, if you're gonna criticize it for that, I won't even hate on you. Yeah, criticize it, but you got to hit that. We know you can hit those, but those opportunities come few and far in between. That's why it's very important for you to hit those deep, you know, those deep throws. That is clearly why it's important. Don't always try to be perfect, but this is a learning experience. Hafley said it in his press conference. He said, I want to see him not get frustrated when he miss a pass, when he throw an interception. I wanted to see him to own to the next play and learn from it. And I think these are the type of things that let's see how he reacts to, okay, I overthrown that pass. I would have loved to get that type of context, right, coming out of camp and say, well, on that very next play, he made a nice throw across the middle, or, you know, how did he react? What did he do on the very next play or his very next pass to see if that affected him in any type of way? Did he try to use too much touch? You know, did he underthrow him now but trying to overcompensate? These are the things that I will be paying attention to that I don't think they're giving us, you know, at the time. But yeah, we're going to get to it. So, you know, I'm not mad at 6 for 9, but yeah, we got to hit those deep goals.
I'm not going to criticize Malik again. Like I said, for 6 for 9, I'm not going to criticize him neither. Again, he by far had the best day of any quarterback. I thought it was interesting though, considering before you go, what Hafley did say. I don't know if y'all caught it, but Hafley made a comment about, I guess, Malik and maybe the performance or whatever. And he said that when the pads come on, Again, I don't think they're going to be taking clear shots at Malik, but he did say that's when we're going to get to see the real Malik, because I think in these kind of practices, they're having him strictly in the pocket. There's not a lot of running around, this, that, and the third. And again, I'm not going to take that element of Malik's game. That's what makes Malik so dangerous, right? It's the ability to create off script, make plays, create some time so maybe some receivers can get open if they're not open originally, right? So again, 6 for 9, I'm with Tone. You got to hit the shots when they're there. I'm not killing you for 6 for 9, but I will say in defense of Malik, again, he's progressing as a pocket passer. That's not where his strength is as a ball player. Where his strength is, again, is his mobility, his playmaking ability. And until we get to see that, I don't think we'll get to see the true Malik of what we're going to get on Sundays. I just wanted to say that, but Vicinity, you can go take on.
I will say this, and this is me staying grounded. The positive fan in me would have been like, oh my gosh, look at that. He was like 66%. You know, that's efficient. You would love that. I love, to Tony's point, that he is taking what the defense gives him. That is the simplest thing you can do as a quarterback. Not simplest, because sometimes you're trying to figure out everything and all the moving parts, but to have the wherewithal to be like, you know what? I'm going to just keep moving the chains. I'm going to manage this game effectively and efficiently. That part, right? Last year, when we talk about QB percentages, right? And I understand that this is one practice in a very small sample size, right? I think last year, Drake May led like 72%. Mac Jones, for the time that he played, was at 69. Brock Purdy, 69. And then you get all the way Daniel Jones, 68. Josh Allen was 69, right? So to be in a 66 percentile range is very good for a quarterback. If he can stay around that for the whole season, we are in great business as Dolphin fans, right? To Lewis's and Tony's point, though, when you have that opportunity to get those points, definitely do it. I also feel like that will become a routine play for him, because he's the type of person, like, when he misses something, he has to work on it. And the attention to that detail, even with Hafley coming through with that, right? Staying after practice and working on that. And what I love about it, to Lewis's point, he's very comfortable being uncomfortable. And that doesn't get talked about a lot. So when the pads do come on, we're going to get a chance. Will I say that I was impressed? No. It was effective, it was efficient, but impressed, like, it takes more than that to impress me, respectfully. I'm not saying it was bad, though. I'm not diminishing what he did. All praises to him for doing and going out there and being effective and efficient, though. Anybody got anything to respond to that with?
Yes, I would like to point out
go ahead.
I would like to point out one key factor. Yes. Lou, you brought up something. You said, Hafley said, we're going to see the real Malik when the pass come on. Let me remind y'all. Y'all remember what he told Quinn Ewers about those passes? That you're not going to make that pass in a real game. So keep that in mind when we see how Malik is carrying himself in practice, because he's not making throws or attempting throws that he don't think he'll be able to attempt in game situations. And I think that's probably what people were like, oh, I'm not impressed. You know, it was just efficient, but nothing impressive. Yeah, I'll believe practice how you're gonna play. Don't practice all that stuff. Hafley said that. He said, and if you do that in practice, when the pad come on, remember he said, I'm going to send a blitz and make sure you don't do that again. I think people forgot that part. So a lot of those passes that we see quarterbacks still attempting, you know, and it would have been a would-be sack or the no-look passes. Don't take that for granted. I'm telling y'all, don't take. We should be past that point where we see quarterbacks wow us in practice, but in the game time, it's nothing like that. It's because a lot of that stuff is not going to happen in the game time.
Okay, since that was a response to what I said,
no, that's not a response to you.
I asked if you guys want to respond to what I said, and you said,
"Oh
yes.
no." I thought you said no. I was responding to what Lou said about, you know, Hafley said you're gonna see the real Malik when the pads come on.
Yeah, because I wanted to be very clear. I am not looking for flashy passes and all that stuff to be impressed.
No, that wasn't for you. That was about
yeah.
them getting in the pass. Yeah.
What would impress me is to be able to see him do something consistently and to know that's the player I expect each and every week. That's when I'll be like, oh, that's impressive. One practice does not impress me because, like you said, pads will come on, pressure will be sent. Respectfully, getting into pressure, let's talk about how the defense performed. Tony, our guy Jacob Rodriguez got his hand on the ball. We had some, fumbles, some interceptions, I believe. How do you feel the defense performed, even though it was expected of them to be more ready to go than the offense?
Well, Jeff Hafley is the defensive coach.
Right.
I expect him to be first of all, I always say defense is always going to be ahead of offenses when it comes to the beginning of training camp, beginning of practice, and even at the early stages of the regular season. It's always like that. So I'm not surprised. What I would say though is Jacob Rodriguez knocking the ball out of Ollie Gordon. Yeah, I don't like that, my good brother. That right there has nothing to do with X's and O's. That's 100% ball control and execution. 100%. So at the end of the day, I can deal with the backup quarterback, Quinn Ewers, throwing an interception. I can deal with Cam Miller throwing a pick six to Willie Gay Jr., which he should be. Shout out to Willie Gay Jr., which now that we on defense. Shout out to Willie Gay Jr. picked up where he left off last season. Hopefully, if he continues to have these amazing training camps, this coach would not make an excuse for not giving him playing time and just go out there and put him on the field. Because if you have him, he's been constantly showing you, if you put me on second and third team, I'm going to dominate. And that's what a starter is supposed to do when you put him on second and third team. You should always dominate. And it seemed like no matter what, every time you put him out there, there's a play. Another pick six, he's showing you consistency. You say you want to see consistency. That's one right there. He's consistently always having good practices. So if this continue, I think they should take heed to that. And I think Jeff Hafley would, because another statement that he made was, he said, it's his job to get the best 11 on the field. That's it. I love that statement right there. Love that mindset. Best 11. I don't care about where you were drafted. I don't care about how much money you're getting paid. I need the best 11 on the field. So I need him to follow up with that. And the best 11 that we see in training camp should be the ones that's starting week one. With training camp and preseason. Those should be the ones starting week one. So from that standpoint, cool. I love to see defense making plays. Offense have to make plays. It got to be a balanced attack. Because if the defense is just continuing to dominate, we're going to be like, well, do we have a dominant defense, or is it just that our offense is not up to par? You would have to start having questions like that. So, but when I look at the type of turnovers, okay, Quinn Ewers threw an interception. Expect that. Shout out to Taft. Michael Taft making a play. A lot of people say that he do have starter potential. So in order for me to believe that, you have to be out there making plays when you're in the second team and you playing against Quinn Ewers. You should be out there intercepting balls. Let them know, no, I need to go and get first team reps. The same thing, with who got the second interception? I mean, I said Willie Gay. Oh, and I said Jacob Rodriguez. Yeah, that's the only one that if you had to ask me something, I'm like, hey, listen. Shout out to Jacob Rodriguez still doing a punch out though. I want to give him credit. I ain't want to just hop on Ollie Gordon dropping the ball. But shout out to Jacob Rodriguez still being a playmaker, because remember when we were coming out of, we were evaluating the players and saying the players that we want to draft and the linebackers. When we got to the linebackers, I remember I said Anthony, the one from Texas. What's his last name? Anthony. What? Him and Jacob Rodriguez. The thing that I noticed are they were not only physical, but they created turnovers. Which is why they were my two top linebackers that I wanted to, bring. Well, outside of Sonny Styles, but the linebackers, because them two came with turnovers and big play abilities. With Sonny Styles was just a freaking nature, but the turnovers wasn't necessarily there with him. So the fact that it's translating in practice with Jacob Rodriguez is showing that it might be, you know, a easy or a smooth transition to the next level. And let's see if he can do it when the pads are on and then in the joint practices. So shout out to the defense, man. They need to show out. I expect it, but I'm not going to just overlook it and say that, you know, it's not a good. I'm going to give them credit when credit is due. So but shout out to them for three turnovers. This is like the third or fourth practice that they had 3 turnovers. Am I correct? If you're going back to OTAs and minicamp? Yeah, so shout out to them. Oh, it was David Ojabo. Yes, it wasn't. Sorry. Thank you, Jacob Jamaican for Sion. It was Ojabo. Oh, shucks, we got an edge making play. Let me stop. But yeah, so shout out to the defense for you know, doing what they're supposed to do.
I would agree. Listen, the defense, Tone, I just received the message that you got a message. So I'll just say that.
I got a message?
Yeah, I received a message saying
Shit, I got a whole bunch of
you got a message. But
TD.
Yeah, yeah. 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 That hey, listen, man. You know, shout out
to TD, man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Shout out. You know, you and TD been on the positivity train. So shout out to 2 of my brothers. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, Luke, can I say something?
I mean, Tone, the floor is yours.
Hey, I could not let this go. So nobody pointed this out. That the non-completion was to 7 different receivers.
We didn't have to bring that up.
What?
Wait, you said? Wait, what did you say?
The non-completions.
No,
came
6
to
completions.
7 different. It say 7. I got 7.
Yeah, well, that 7 is wrong. He was 6 for 9.
I don't know. Well, you heard it was 6 for 9. So, boy, if it was the 6th completion, did it come to 6 different targets?
Well,
that's a little impressive. I'm sorry. There you go. He said 9 targets. Oh, there you go. Shout out to TD.
You know what?
Are we if that's 6 completions to 6 different targets? No. That's not no normal stuff. That you gotta throw that out because to be able to have the timing down with 6 different receivers is different. And Lou, before you get in, let me save you for this being a huge debate. I don't care if it was a 3-yard pass, an 8-yard pass, a 7-yard pass, because we put up a video of a dude missing terribly on a 3-yard crosser. We did
put that video up. But
shout out to TD in the chat. Shout out to you.
Shout out to TD in the chat. Now Finsanity, I'm gonna talk
to 7 different receivers. Go ahead.
Now I'm gonna talk to TD and Tone.
Bring the ball around.
You know what? Hey, Finsanity, I'm gonna talk to the 2 Tones that I know. You know what I'm saying? Didn't we just come off a quarterback that I watched hit like 13 or 14 different receivers against Cleveland a couple years ago?
Who was that?
Tua Tagovailoa. I know you and TD heard of Tua Tagovailoa, right? We used to watch Tua.
Was that
not
impressive?
Was in real games. That was when the bullets were flying.
Was it impressive though?
Well, let me get this right. So you and TD are impressive that Malik Willis threw to 7 different receivers, but Tua throws to 13 or 14, and that's not impressive.
Actually, that is impressive. I'm like, when you connect it, because we know Tua is known for his accuracy. You gonna tell me you gonna give me an athlete with the arms to the Malik and he come with accuracy?
Tom, now look at this, Tom. Now look at this, Tom. Never heard of him. See what I'm saying?
Do you know what?
He's never heard of him.
Never heard of him. See what I'm saying?
That guy doesn't exist. You're right.
You know what? Hey, Tom, are we talking defense right now? I thought that's what we were doing.
I got a message and I just want. I'm sorry.
When the GOAT sends a message, you speak on the message.
You know what? They were trying to Finsanity. You know what? And Lou said he came with the number. This is why I do my own homework. I trust Lou to come with the numbers and give 100% accuracy. And he left that key part out.
You know what? Hey, the question I have, why did TD have to text me to tell you that he texted you the numbers? He couldn't text me the numbers.
Because I'm focused on the show. What I supposed to be doing?
So TD couldn't text me the numbers though, right? What am I, a hater? I'm a hater of Malik. He couldn't text me the numbers.
Obviously, it seemed that way.
Oh, okay. Hey, listen. From the defensive standpoint, though, listen, we got Jeff Hafley. Y'all know me. When Brian Flores was our head coach, I thought we were a defensive-minded, tough football team. When Mike McDaniel got here, that philosophy changed. We were a finesse. We were gonna try to be high-powered offense. We were an offensive-minded football team. Hiring Jeff Hafley, he's a defensive coach. That's what he is. You know, he's made his bread and butter in this league for being a defensive-minded coach. So, yeah, I'm not surprised, Tone, Insanity, that this defense has been, even in mini camps and obviously now in the start of training camp, they're out there making plays. Listen, Cam Good had a sack today, a would-be sack, right? A guy that is unheard of, right? Cam Good out there making plays. Y'all brought up Njagbu or whatever his name is. Him making a play, having a strip fumble or whatever, or causing a fumble. Finsanity, you know what was crazy? In a Twitter space today, Tony told me he wanted to hear a specific song played throughout Hard Rock Stadium. What was that song, Tone? Can you say it again?
Taffy. Laffy Taffy, yeah.
He told me he wanted a song that doom, 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 doom. That's what he said he wanted to hear every time Michael Taft made a play. All I'm saying is it's good. It's a good sign. The question I would have, though, right? And to Tone's point earlier, I think everybody up here would agree, right? Especially in training camp, this early in the training camp, defenses are always going to have the upper hand, right? I think for the most part, even in any of the teams, the defense you always hear early having strides to be better than the offense, right? It usually takes the offense a little bit of time. The question I have, though, is that our case here in Miami? Because y'all know me, I have concerns. I have concerns in our wide receiver room. I have concerns with our tight ends outside of Greg Dulcich. Is our defense this good, right? Or is it just, early struggles from the offense and maybe taking a little time and the defense is, just taking advantage of? Where are we at? Because I don't think it's that hard to cover Caleb Douglas, to be honest with you. Right? You know what? I didn't hear nothing about Jalen Wright today. I didn't hear nothing about outside of the fumble, right? Ollie Gordon. I was watching the collective. I know TD was in here. Shout out to the collective, them boys out there, right? The Dolphins collective. Omar Kelly and Alan Pupar, that were there. They mentioned, or I think it was Omar mentioned, I didn't even know we had a running back. I think his last name is Washington, right? Omar said he had a couple good runs. And even the running back we picked up last year, Donovan Edwards or whatever, the running back from Michigan, was with the Jets. I heard he had a couple good runs from what Omar had said, right? So at the end of the day, listen, the defense has performed well early in training camp and now, or early in mini camp and now in training camp. Shout out to Hafley. It looks like, he's as advertised so far. And it's a good sign to see. I can't believe are we really doing this? I cannot believe we're doing it. Y'all set me up. This is what we're doing?
What?
Just let me know, is this what we're doing?
Tony, you're muted. Sorry, you're muted. Tony, you're muted.
Oh, my bad. Do you see it, Lou, or no? That's all I'm asking
you. Do I see it? Listen, I'm excited and mad at the same time. I'm not gonna lie to you. I can't believe this is what we're doing.
Give me 1 second. I'm about to, hey, listen, man. I'll be 1 second. I'm gonna set it up real quick. Most definitely we doing it. Of course we doing it. I need. Okay. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me. You got something for Sandy?
Oh yeah, just to it. I will say this to the point about, is that impressive? Yes, solely because he's literally giving every single one of those wide receiver a chance to make a play. And I like that. From a leadership standpoint, not to just say, I'm going to just go to the guy that I trust most or think is going to make me look the best. He gave them all a shot. So to that point, to allow these guys to naturally build the trust. And I would be very interested to see who these 6 completions were to, and were they to the guys that were at the throwing camp with him. That might be very interesting to point out. I don't know.
Okay, I got you.
So go ahead.
I'm about to switch the scene and then set up the background. So if y'all back up, just come right back on.
Okay.
Oh, we good. Everybody's still on stage. All right. Boom. So Vincent, you want to do the honors?
Oh yes. Coming to the stage, probably one of the greatest, if not the greatest, but everyone's first to second Mount Rushmore. Sorry, you know what? I'm not gonna mess it up. Let me take a deep breath, because this is my brother and he did me justice, so I have to do him justice. Coming to the stage, the greatest YouTuber in this community, someone who has built not only 1, not only 2, but 3 amazing platforms. He is none other than one of the founding fathers, one of the people who found me out of, the South Jersey, circuit, the one, the only, the GOAT, the one guy that if you want help, want to be put on, it comes endlessly. TD Finstock. That's all I got to say. The GOAT. The GOAT.
Hey, I'm sorry, before you speak, it says Malik is the love of my life. I don't know who TD Finstock is.
You have a wife. You have a wife.
I didn't want to say that's what it said. What's good, my good brother?
I'm good. This is Mr. Willis.
You see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying?
Hey, Lou, we got trolled for 6 years. I can't do it now.
How you doing, my good brother, man? How you doing, TD?
I'm good, man. Just trying to survive out here on these streets. They putting hits out on me because somebody got back problems,
Oh, I know who that is.
Is that what we doing? Is that so? I thought we covered the Dolphins over here. We talking Atlanta Falcons now?
Oh, yeah, I was talking about Austin Jackson.
Well, can you clarify, TD, what you was talking about? Because you wanted to clarify that you were saying that there was 9 targets, right?
Yeah,
Go ahead.
Hey, he had 9 targets, but it literally, what nobody talked about, it was 7 different receivers. The only guys that was targeted twice was Malik Washington and Caleb Douglas. Caleb Douglas caught both of his. Malik Washington didn't. So they were pass breakups. Hit Ben Sims, hit Greg Dulcich. And I gotta go back and look. I forgot who the other 2 guys was, but it's listed. It's listed. But my whole thing is with Malik, you know what they want? They like everybody already showing their true colors. What they want is 9 for 9 every day. No, not even 8 for 9, because they'll talk about that 1 incompletion and how off target the 1 incompletion was. This man had a small sample size of 9. Like, come, are we kidding? And it was 6 for 9, by the way, which is 67%. And again, like Hafley said, he's a gamer, man. You're not gonna see what you're gonna get out of him until the lights come on and it's real action. Because let me say this: if you take away Josh Allen scrambles, you're not as impressed just sitting in the pocket the whole game. You take away Lamar Jackson's scrambles, you're not as impressed. But when you put the whole thing together, it's unreal. It's like a combination that's unreal. Plus, when that mobile threat comes, because right now the defense knows they don't have to worry about a running quarterback. So they're in their base, they're playing their defense. What they gonna do whenever he starts stretching the field and you got to worry about him and that extra linebacker got to be dedicated to it? It's a different game. Everything changes, man. That's why for me, Malik Willis had a phenomenal day. You know why? All he got to do is be average to good every day in practice, and it's phenomenal. Long as he ain't below that, I know that when the game starts, he gonna make extra plays that make his whole entire game look great.
And that's the key point that I wanted to point out, that it was people left out as far as the scrambling ability and him making plays with his legs in game time, which is what I said. Game time. Don't try to make throws that you're not going to make throws in the regular games. When Hafley told him, he already told Quinn Ewers, hey, when he gonna send that extra blitz if he see you out there just going through the motions and no look passes and all that to teach you, you're not gonna be able to make that throw in a game. Don't do it in practice. Practice is how you're gonna play. Perfect practice make perfect, not practice. Because you can practice bad habits and then you're gonna go out there and you're not gonna look too good. So it becomes second nature when you practice every single day with intent. Remember I said that earlier? One thing that I learned from everyone that the company number for these players is with these training camps and the way half you run this practice, everything is did with intent, which means something. But Lou, you sound like you had something to say.
Well, yeah, I was just gonna ask TD his perspective and actually Tone and Finsanity as well. And I kind of brought it up before we started the show to Tony and Finsanity. TD, it's in your opinion, because I learned something watching you guys' great show today on the Dolphin Collective, by the way. But I didn't realize that we were bringing in. I heard of the 2 quarterbacks and the rugby player,
Yeah.
But it kind of caught me off guard when we brought in 4 wide receivers. TD, do you think, in your opinion, that that's just camp bodies that we're trying out, or do you think that's kind of an admission from the front office that maybe they overestimated how good this wide receiver group could be? Maybe there's some concern within that group, and they're like, "Oh, we need to bring some bodies in here."
I think personally, neither of those are the case. It's not an admission they overestimated the group, and they're not just camp bodies. They truly believe bring as many guys in at competitive positions and let nobody feel the comfort of my job is secure. Everybody, you want people that's in that building that's going to be fighting, man. And you never know, one of them guys might rise and knock a guy off the totem pole. I mean, we're sitting here thinking Tutu or
Jalen Tolbert.
Tolbert
Yeah.
or Malik is just safe. Man, you don't know. I mean, you don't know what you're gonna get in camp. A guy show up, show out. They on the outside looking in, but they can get in that door. And that's what he wants in every room. Some form of competition that's making the guy next to the guy not as comfortable as some people. Like Chop Robinson probably comfortable, but it's some guys that made some plays today and they brought in another edge. You got to take away all comfortability in that building, no matter what the position is. And that's what it's about. Try to make every room better every day.
And there's nothing wrong with that. Every time you go out, if you're constantly looking to find talent, especially like that's going to be no cost at all. It's like no risk, high reward if you get anything out of it. As a GM, listen, every time I say this, every time we talk about GM, head coach, front office, I always say, just because, let's just say you went through the draft, just because you went through free agency, your job do not stop there. You have to constantly figure out ways to improve this team. When we talked about not Brian Flores, Chris Greer, what did I say? I said, okay, good. You did good in free agency. You did good. Now, when you look at the product on the field, in practice, in game times, do you see ways that you can improve it? And you should always be looking for that. And the fact that they're doing that is good. You bring them in for a workout. If they don't work out, fine. No harm, no foul. If you found someone that you feel like you could get value out of, that's part of your job. That's how I'm going to evaluate you as a GM. Listen, are you just sitting on your hands and just watching what you have done so far, or are you constantly looking for something to improve this team in ways to be proactive? Because we always had that PTSD with the injuries, and why they didn't have no contingency plan. See, to me, he's not waiting until people get injured or people fail for him to still be continuously looking for talent that could possibly improve his team. So I will always congratulate and encourage that type of behavior. And again, like TD said, that keep every player in this building on their pins and needles and on their toes.
Yeah, I just think this is another indication of Halfley and Sully standing on the word that they won competition throughout every room and throughout this whole training camp practice. We talked about earlier about how they wanted to see how people were ready, starting with the 11 on 11s, and like, what was your preparedness to lose point? What install are you on? How much of this are you grasping? But also the mental toughness, because you still have to be able to be present and to go out even when you feel that pressure of competition, and can you do that? Can you still perform the way that we need you to when you have all these distractions? Because it's going to be like, well, why are, to Lewis's point, why are they bringing more people in here? Do they think that we're not good enough, that we're not ready enough, that we're not prepared enough? So when you do have all these things coming around and all these distractions and noises, how are you able to still prepare in that? And then also let's not also negate the fact that sometimes getting eyes on guys is really good, right? We will have a practice squad. We will have guys that may go down. It is good to have options and know what you're looking for, and if you have already brought that in or not, right? Like, for people who say camp bodies, sure, but to their point, it does seem like they are open to, like, if you can flash, or if you can give us something, we will not negate that talent. So there are other and multiple uses that they can do with bringing in guys in during this process, especially very early in training camp. So yeah, that's what I thought.
Another piece to today that's very important that we can't overlook is look at all the people that they say made plays that had a good day. None of them are the stars. None of them are the big name players. It's a whole bunch of guys that we're hopeful for, but we gotta wait and see. Well, you know what? We're already seeing good signs first day of training camp. Everybody, I was raving about Caleb Douglas when we drafted him, and not before we drafted him because, he was on my board, but not where I had him. But at the same token, when you look at his game, it fits Malik, what Malik likes to do. And I was raving about him, and people are like, oh, it's just a mid-round receiver. He ain't that good. We'll wait and see. He made some big time plays today. To have Chris Johnson all over his back and still box him out and make the catch. This is the type of stuff I'm talking about. Small stuff like that. You might have an emerging receiver who can play some possession football and with his big frame and height can box out guys like a Chris Johnson who was all over the place, draped on everybody, tight coverage, which is another thing you want to hear. Great offense gonna always be great defense, but just to be in place is a positive sign. When you hear Greg Dulcich picking up where he left off, not a star, but making plays, and you get Ben Simmons in the fray, these are the things you want to hear. All the names we heard that were making plays today are guys that we're going to need to make plays. Now, here's another thing that we need to talk about. Think about all the guys who didn't make plays today and who weren't playing well. The good thing is at least all of them were second and third string guys, and I know you're going to need them at some point of the season, but they're not the primary guys. You can't be relying on them. If it's next man up, good. I get it. But it's not your main guys that you're going to be out there on the field with. So, the offense had a rough day, primarily with the second and third team. But the first team, 6 for 9, that's just fine. I don't know why we reinventing the wheel, trying to make it seem like that was an average day. In any game, that's still good. It's still good. So I don't get it. I think there's a lot more emphasis to drown out anything kind of positive, in my opinion. But it is what it is.
Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
I get that point, right? Like, again, as fans, we want to be positive about the team. I just don't like. I can't be over. Listen, I'm gonna be honest, right? I've been snake bitten too many times with this team. That's my biggest issue. Like, I've heard all this before. Like, again, if I have to go back to Brian Flores, I will. We hired Brian Flores. They did a piece on him. I think it was on ESPN or one of the CBS or something, and they showed his upbringing and how he grew up, and everybody loved him because he was the flashy new toy until they hated him, right? Before Mike McDaniel got here, before he coasted down TD, Tone, and Finsanity, he was McGenius. He was the end-all, be-all. He was the breath of fresh air this team needed until he was a soft-minded head coach and everything went wrong and we hated him. Right? This is the honeymoon phase for me. Do I like hearing certain guys making plays? And yes, as a Dolphin fan, I love hearing it. None of that matters though to me. I just can't be. I can't come out and again, I'm not saying anybody on this panel, but the projections of 10 wins. and we're finally going to get a playoff win, and Hafley is the right guy to lead us. I've said this. Listening to Hafley, that's the kind of – I was a Brian Flores fan because he was it takes no talent, right? We remember the wall. It was the accountability. Hafley seems like that kind of guy to me. I would want to play for a guy like Hafley. But if I'm going to be fair to the situation, I don't know what Hafley is as a coach, especially a head coach. Like, there are concerns. Listen, when I hear Ben Sims caught a pass today, Greg Dulcich caught a pass today, I've seen Durham Smythe catch passes, right? Like, all I'm saying is I'm trying to take a wait-and-see approach because I've been snake bitten too many times with this team, is all I'm saying. Is there some positives? I think the way the team is getting constructed, and Tone Vicinity, you've heard me say this multiple times. I like the direction, right? Do I think this might be a year too early? There might be some struggles here and there from a first-time general manager, first-time head coach, a lot of new positional coaches or position coaches that are new, right? Players, young players, right? We got one of the youngest teams in the NFL.
The youngest
I just
team.
think it's going to there you go, Tone, right? So there's going to be growing pains, and I'm just trying to warn Dolphin fans. I'm not trying to be negative, right? I just don't want to put so many high expectations. And I'm not saying anybody up on this panel is doing that. But when I hear already, Tone, you seen it today on Twitter. There was a guy saying, well, if we win 10 games, build a statue for Hafley. I want to stay away from that. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's what we did with Brian Flores. That's what we did with Mike McDaniel. I want this new head coach, new general manager, and this team, just build, bro. Just build on today. To TD's point, if there was a good day today, be better tomorrow. And then the next day. And when Tony's out there on Sunday watching the first training camp in front of fans, be better that day is all I'm saying. And I'll get more intrigued and it'll pique my interest more, and maybe I can get more excited than I am now. But to end what I'm trying to say, I've just been snake bitten too many times, and I'm not going to fall for the banana in the tailpipe again. The honeymoon phase, listen, we're all adults up here. The honeymoon phase is great. There's no arguments. There's no nothing. And everything in this building so far has been good. My question is, when adversity hits, because it's going to hit sometime this season, there's going to be a rookie that hits the rookie wall. There's going to be a stretch of game that maybe Malik doesn't play well. Their defense gives up a late score and they lose the game. Adversity hits. How does Jeff Hafley react to that? How does Malik Willis react to that? How does Caleb Douglas, if he drops 2 balls in a game, how does he react to that? There's just a lot of questions that I have. And again, to TD's point, good first day. I like the accountability. I like yesterday everybody showing up. I like yesterday that everybody passed their physicals. Today we got through no injuries, knock on wood. A lot to like. I'm just saying, for me at least, I'm pumping the brakes on the 10 wins, 11 wins, playoff victories. We got everything in place. We're off to the Super Bowl. I'm just not there yet. But some good days, and I just want to see the team continue to build.
Hey, before you go, TD, hey, look, I'm just going to say this, and I'm just going to put this. This is a public service announcement. Get on the train right now, because once we get the movement, we don't have room for snake-bitten people when we get the rolling. You ain't going to be able to jump on this bandwagon when we get the movement. That's all. Go ahead, TD, though. I just wanted to put that out there. And Bonzo, I see you. I got you.
Wait a minute. Hold up.
I might leave the show, man. I don't like what's going on right now.
Because when you say don't hop on the wagon, right?
Oh, you on that side too? It sounds like you're telling yourself.
I have a question. Can I clarify? Are you talking about the team? Are you talking about the coach? Like, what are you talking about specifically?
Everything. The team, the coach, the front office, Sully, what's my dog now? Brandon Shore, Malik Willis. Y'all hate on Malik Willis.
Who has hated?
We do not have room for y'all once we take off. Y'all got to week 1 to get on the train. I'm telling you now.
First of all, no, because at the end of the day, Lewis is a Dolphin fan. Me, I'm a Dolphin fan. Tony, a Dolphin fan. We've been on the wagon. We've been on the wagon.
Man,
we've been on for 20 plus years. Like, I don't know, y'all exact ages, respectfully, but we've been on this roller coaster already, respectfully. Saying that someone wants to see something and wants to say, take it one day at a time instead of saying, you know what, let's just jump off a cliff. I jumped off of a cliff. Like,
So you said
respectfully.
we jumped off the cliff?
No.
Thank,
Because
thank you, Insanity.
the way that you guys are coming, as if to Lewis's point, he has questions. You're saying, and I'm not saying that you're saying this, but when you said you can't jump on the wagon, you're making it seem like he can't wait until these questions are answered to get excited about it. I'm naturally always excited. I told you, if I got to pour a bucket of ice on my head every week, I am happy to do it. Does it make me believe I'm gonna
It's
win?
gonna be
10
10 or
games
11 weeks. You know, I ain't gonna say every week, but 10 or 11. You got get your ice buckets ready.
But don't tell nobody who has been a consistent fan who dedicates 3, soon to be 4 days of their week to talk about this team that they're not on the wagon. It is what it is. They on the team. If you
So
say
this
show me, then it's show me. That's it. Respectfully.
I'm getting on whatever train
Everybody
Tony.
got a prophecy, but not
I,
everybody fulfills the prophecy. It is what it
Finsanity,
is.
Finsanity, I'm here to tell you right now. Whatever train TD and Tony is on, I'm going to be on that train. I'm telling you now.
Oh Lord. Hey, Tony, we might have to kick somebody off there. No. But you know what? Um, I know Tony talking. Because that's something. Listen, man, real Dolphin fans, you're not required to believe right now. You should. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with not believing right now. It's all justified due to the past. And getting on the train at any point is fine. I mean, I don't see nobody out here disowning a team because they don't believe in them. They just saying that they don't believe they're gonna be good and they're gonna win 2 games. I mean, I get all of that, but I want to say this about the being snake bitten. Yeah, but I mean, you were believing snakes to begin with. You were
Ooh.
you were laying with snakes to begin with.
See, this is
I
why TD
mean,
is a pro. This is why
so
TD is a
so
pro right
so
here.
so let me ask you a question. Was I snake bitten about the Tua era?
Ooh.
Chris Greer, Mike
No,
McDaniel too. Was I snake
no.
bitten? So everybody, Dolphin fans ain't been snake bitten. Not all of them. You only was snake bitten if you believe the snake. You ate from that forbidden tree. I'm
Hey,
just saying. So maybe you should, maybe take some advice from people who haven't been bit by the snake but was in the same jungle.
snake
So
boots.
How did they
Snake boots.
not get bit? How did I
Snake.
not get bit by
We
it?
were
I
prepared. Snake boots.
that's all I'm saying. And the reason why I say that is because of this. I am one of those optimistic individuals, but I at least have reasons why I'm optimistic. Whether they work out or not, I do tell y'all, I don't know, we might win 2 games. But you know what? The one thing I'll tell you, I am not going to put the snake label on this current regime because they haven't done nothing that's snake worthy. We've been seeing snake worthy evidence from Chris Greer. We saw Mike McDaniel the day he came in being a snake, appeasing to everybody, basically lying to our face to try to make guys better than they actually are. You can't operate that way. Have you not noticed our GM and head coach came in not fabricating with this over like praising of people? All you heard was from players the feedback, the real raw feedback they've been getting. See, they don't have to live in in fakeness when they just live real lives. Everything is honest. I'm not finna sit here and appease to you because you're my quarterback. I'm gonna talk about what you need to work on. Why is it this the first time Chop Robinson been told what he need to work on and been they've been all on him like he has? He's 2 years in. This about to be his third year. We're waiting till his third year for somebody to actually give him real feedback.
Mm.
So when we're getting all of this, man, come on, man. I can't go with people that say I've seen every way we've done it before. No, at one point or another, you saw some fakeness or bad decisions. Tell me what the fake or bad decision you've seen so far. You may not know when you're waiting to see about a decision, but there ain't nothing you can say that was already a bad decision. That was, at a bare minimum, the worst you could say is I'll wait to see. But Chris Greer, Mike McDaniel, all of them were giving us bad things early on. And let's be honest, the people who got food, that was all because you brought up the point of it's always everybody getting along at first.
The honeymoon stage.
The honeymoon stage. No, 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 no. Remember who was leading the honeymoon phase? Snakes. Snakes. Snakes was leading it.
Uh, now, TD, again, listen, you're the best at this. I'm not going to lie to you. You're very good. When you say there's no mistakes, though, TD, I'm going to ask you your opinion. Have you
Shoot.
ever seen in the draft a general manager pick a fullback with the top
Oh, here we
100
go. See,
pick?
all right.
I can't hear you. Say it again.
Have you ever seen a general manager in their first draft pick a fullback with a top 100 pick?
Pick a fullback with a top 100 pick.
He's making a joke about Will Kazmarek, TD.
No,
He's
well, that's
a Will
fine. I'm
Kazmarek
glad.
hater.
That's fine. That's
don't say
fine.
I'm joking. I'm not joking. I'm not
Well,
joking. That's a
you
fullback.
know what? I'm halfway side with you here, Lou, and I'm gonna say this. First of all, I'm sure it's happened, but it's one of the rarest things ever, right? But not if you already know how you're going to approach the season and some of the things that you want to make sure that you solidify on this roster day one. So when you get Will Kazmarek, a fullback / tight end, you know you're trying to run the football and block. What does Slowick tell HN? We going to run the ball more. Weren't we already running it at 52%? Wouldn't we already running the ball a lot? We might be a 60-40 team. So if you're going to be 60-40, lean on the run game, which HN says he wants to be the rushing leader in the league this year. And he's all for it, which means he's going to attempt to be a bell cow, which means he's going to get 70% of the carries probably. You need Will Kazmarek as a priority. You need Caden Proctor in that draft as a priority. You need big receivers that are physical like Caleb Douglas that can block as a priority. So, yeah, I understand. See, it's the difference between chasing just players or chasing.
Did we lose him?
I sounded like it.
Did we
I
lose?
think
Did
he's
we
still.
lose TD? Sound like we lost TD. Hit him up. Let me hit him up. Tell him we lost him. But okay. If he come back, we'll I'll see what's up. But just to that point, I think he was making a great point as far as what I said, going back and doing the research. Even though live on the show, we didn't agree with a lot of the players because we didn't. Like I said, I admit it. I didn't do my homework on Will Kazmarek. You know, I didn't have Caleb Douglas nowhere on my wide receiver list. I didn't. You know, so I had to go back and rewatch and do my research and my homework on these guys. And Caleb Douglas, I still came back with, like, I understand the mentality. I still don't agree with that pick. But with Will Kazmarek, I did say he fit the profile of what they was looking for. And he was the number one TD back. He was rated the number one blocking tight end in this draft. And if you go and invest a third rounder on the number one blocking tight end in this job, that means he fits your profile. I understand the mentality of that. But go ahead, TD. Finish your point.
Yeah, it's just simply what we want to accomplish this year. He's going for the biggest bang for his buck. And what he told me in the draft is, I want to solidify our run game, which with the weapon of Malik is going to make life easier with a group of receivers that aren't big names for him to spread the ball out, even distribution. Led by the run, play action, find these guys, take shots to them. And if nothing's there, take the check down. If nothing's there, run the football. And he wants to solidify the offense and have it not elite, but solid enough to put up 24 plus points a game, hopefully, and compete. And let the defense continue to build. We know there's room on the defense. That's why everybody was like, we should have did this or that on the defense. No, he wants to actually have one side of the football more competent than people think. And that's what he's going after. So the Will Kazmarek move was genius in my opinion, because you're going to see the impact. I mean, do we realize the impact that Alec Ingold had on our run game when those guys are running the football with Mostert and Achane at first. Like Ingle made the Pro Bowl. I know it's only 8 eligible, but look at what it did for our run game. It was only 8 eligible fullbacks, but he was the best one. And look what it did for our run game. And that's what he wants to recreate, a running team with a quarterback who can play action. And if that one defensive end is sound and disciplined and stays out there on the edge, Malik is so athletic that one-on-one is going to be a win for us every time. Extending plays, offense will be fine. We got work to do on the defense, but he wanted to at least have one competent side of the football.
I would agree with a lot of that. And again, to your point of being a 60, let's say 40 run team over pass team and stuff, I think there was a good point that was made by Sean. You have to be able to throw at some point to set up the run. Because again, the Philadelphia Eagles, 2 years ago when they won the Super Bowl, they were a running team. But in that Super Bowl, the Kansas City Chiefs said, no, Saquon in this running game is not going to beat me. And all I'm saying is teams can stop the run if you don't show the ability to pass or have that ability, right?
Did we have the ability to pass last year?
Hold on, wait.
No, we didn't have the ability to pass last year, but that's
we still ran that ball.
Yeah, he had
still ran that ball.
1,300 plus. But hold on, no. But I mean, that's it. And you can finish. Malik Willis already showed the ability to hit those passes. Those passes that and we covered that. The passes that Jalen Hurts hit, you had wide receivers with one-on-one matchups. Those are the easiest passes to complete, and Malik Willis has already showed the capability to hit those. So I'm not worried about us being able to show the ability to throw the ball.
1,000%, I would agree with that. I think this play action game, especially to TD's point and everybody's point in here, if you can run the ball, I think this play action game with Malik is going to be incredible. I think the bootleg action that you can get is going to be incredible. I think an RPO between Malik Willis and Devon Achane is going to be incredible because one bad step, Achane or Malik have the ability to hit their head on the goalpost. I get the vision, Tone, but we've had these conversations, Pinsanity as well. TD, now that you're up here, I'll pose the question because I agree. I think everybody agrees. 60-40. This is going to be a run-first football team. And the Will Kazmarek and the offensive line that they brought in Proctor, I get the vision. It seems like we're trying to be the Baltimore Ravens of yesteryear, right? The Tennessee Titans with Tannehill. You know what that team had? Derrick Henry in the backfield, right? That you could hand the ball off 25, 30, 35 times, right? Does building this kind of team with a 5'9", 190, and I love Devon Achane, don't get me wrong. I love him. But if you're telling me that we're going to be 60-40, and let's say Devon Achane is getting 70, 75, let's say 80% of the snaps. Listen, we seen Devon Achane, he was carrying the ball, 16, 17 times last year? Let's say that goes up to 24 carries a game and another 4 or 5 touches out the pass game. That's not concerning to nobody? Again, I love Devon Achane. Let's not get it twisted, though. He's not Jonathan Taylor. He's not.
Let me give you a little secret, Lou.
Okay.
You know how I say 60% run, 40% pass?
Right.
The beautiful part of this offense is actually going to be 50-50. It's just that Malik's going to get 10% of those runs because they start out as passes and nothing there, and he gets to take off. That's going to be the balance of it. They're going to have a pass game that gets about 50% of the plays. He's going to go back there to throw the football. But that ramp up of the rushing game is going to be supplemented by Malik actually taking one or two rushes out of every 10 because we don't have these world beater wide receivers. But even the pass game, man, we got to stop sleeping on this pass game. Just look no further than Green Bay. Are they held back in their pass game? Or do they get held back? Did Baltimore, before they had Trey Flowers, had for 5 years, didn't have a 1,000-yard receiver? Was their pass game held back? It was a whole bunch of spreading the football around. Josh Allen, before Diggs and after Diggs left, did they have the wide receiving core? Was that a problem with the pass game? And I promise you, whether people want to agree with me or not, these guys are not the dynamic passers everybody think. Their overall game is just so superior because of their mobility. People don't even evaluate their flaws as passers. They don't even look at film to see how good or bad they actually are as passers. Like these guys can miss a wide open read, but since they got themselves out of trouble on that same play, rolled right and extended it for 5 seconds and hit somebody for 15-yard first down, we don't evaluate the 2-3 reads they missed at the beginning where they never had to do that.
Or the missed
And
throws.
that's what people don't get. Even the most elite quarterbacks, when you watch their game, Patrick Mahomes is the biggest one. Man, the man missing reads all over the field. But the improvisation still making things happen, and we don't even evaluate it. And that's what Malik's going to do this year. He's going to be so explosive outside of the structure of the offense that we're not going to nitpick. I mean, well, this is Dolphin community. They're going to nitpick everything anyway because it's personal with the last guy got nitpicked about everything. So that's all of that. I just think we're going to be just fine. I got a roll, man. Great show. I'm going to keep watching while I'm taking care of these kids, getting them situated. But thanks for having me, y'all.
Appreciate you, TD. Let me get into this chat because
TD, be good, man.
Be awesome.
Yeah. Let me get into the chat. Let's get back. Here we go. Wait, hold on. I see Sean in the chat. Sean, there's a lot of comments, and the ability to stop the run. We don't have a pass. Didn't we beat y'all like 30-15 last year without the ability to pass? I think Tua had 170 yards against y'all. We dropped. Like, what are you talking about? Y'all loaded up to stop the run, and H.N. had 170 something yards against y'all with 2 touchdowns. So I don't like, if we're gonna be realistically speaking, you can't talk from a Buffalo Bills standpoint because we showed y'all that the ability to be able to beat y'all without the passing. Tua had 2 interceptions in that game again, right? And I think a fumble. I think he had 3 turnovers in that game.
And to be honest, that Buffalo run defense now, maybe they got better. You know, they added Bradley Chubb. We know he, from a pass rushing standpoint,
Yeah, so
he might be over the L, but he can set the edge at least, right? But I don't think Buffalo has done enough tone and insanity that their run defense is elite, bro. They were atrocious last year. Like, everybody was able to run the ball in Buffalo. So
yeah, and we showed the ability to run on everyone too. Like, I get what a lot of people saying. Your receivers and the quarterback is going to have to make plays. Malik Willis add dynamic ability at the quarterback level, which helps out the wide receivers. I've been said that. Ben gave y'all this take. When I pointed out, okay, yeah, Jalen Hurts, they stopped Saquon Barkley in the Super Bowl, but guess what? That left all the receivers out there one-on-one. That's the easiest throws to make as a quarterback. When your wide receivers has one-on-one, it makes the throw that much easier. And we're not going to, even though, albeit it's a small sample size, but we see Malik make those throws. And we see Malik make routine throws, deep throws with accuracy. We seen him make plays with his legs and create and scramble and improvise our receivers open. Remember when he hit Jaden Reed down the sideline on the right side because he scrambled and got out of there? And he was wide open because all the defense react to him. It's easier to hit a wide open receiver when the defense have to account for your ability to scramble and make plays downfield. We saw in that Baltimore Ravens game when you said Baltimore Ravens had Lamar Jackson, but when Malik Willis went up against that team, even though they had Tyler Huntley, Derrick Henry had 4 touchdowns. Malik was going score for score with them. 2 rushing touchdowns. All these type of things, defenses have to take accountability of. Take into account. Because guess what? If you just put 8 in a box and they do a play action to Achane and everyone converge on him, Malik is out the back door. He runs a 4-3. You don't want that either. So that creates hesitation. And all you need is that split second. So with this notion that you have to show the ability to be able to throw the ball, I would like to remind y'all, our quarterback last year was playing the worst quarterback in the league last year. Led the league in turnovers, had a bad completion percentage, and we still managed to run the football on everyone. Every single one. He had 1,300 yards. Let that over 1,300 yards. And that's not including his ability to create out of the backfield. Added another 400 yards out of the backfield. So, yeah, I'm not overly concerned with teams loading up to stop the run. That's exactly what we want them to do. Exactly. Make the game easier for our quarterback. And you don't have to throw passes in small windows.
Yeah, well, not if Malik is missing wide open receivers like he did today. I'm just playing. You know, TD's because TD said he was still listening, so I just wanted to make sure he heard that he. You know, what I'm saying, that's all. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I see. Now I get it. I understand. There's going to be questions. There's going to come teams when Malik. You're going to have to, if that run game is as good as we think it could be, or it could possibly be, there's going to be teams going to say, no, Malik Willis, you're going to have to beat us from the pocket. Same thing that you pointed out, Lou. What they did to the Eagles. And if Malik Willis cannot win consistently and make throws that was available to Jalen Hurts, then we wasted our money on him. And what we saw on the film was fugazi. I just don't believe that. I believe that was part of his maturation. That was his development. And him understanding, I had to put in the work as far as on the film work and pocket presence to become an NFL quarterback. NFL quarterbacks have to win from the pocket, not with your agility or your escapability. So just keep that in mind. Go ahead.
You good, Sean?
No, he was good.
I'm just asking.
You know what, Smarty Jim? Okay. Oh, Smarty Jim, this is a great point too. The league has been sleeping on Achane. That might work in our favor. It will, because if the league is sleeping on Achane, like everyone else is, like we see everyone else, all of these top 10 running back lists don't have Achane on them. They got the Josh Jacobs of the world ahead of Malik Willis. Yeah, I'm sorry, Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, Josh ahead of who?
I said Malik Willis. Achane. Achane. They got Kyron Williams, which I love Kyron Williams. I love Kyron Williams. He's not a better running back than Achane. He's not giving you better production over Achane, but they got him ranked. They got him in the top 10.
You said Connor Williams?
Kyron Williams.
Oh, Kyron. Okay, from the Rams.
They have him. They have him in the top 10. That's the Los Angeles Rams running back. He cool. He ain't better than Achane. He's not. And if people are sleeping on him, I will hope and pray the defensive coordinators are sleeping on Achane the way all of these beat writers and these so-called experts are. Cool. Work out to our favor. That gives us just that amount of games before the league catch up to us, and we're already out the gate. Listen, I already predicted 4-1 first 5 games going into the bye week. So if teams gonna sleep on us, hey, I'll take it any day of the week. I would take it any day of the week. But go ahead, anyone? Y'all got anything? No, we over 2 hours today. Lou, you got something? Finsanity?
Yeah, I would be. Go ahead, Lou. Go ahead.
No, go ahead, Finsanity, for sure. Go ahead.
I would think it very naive of any defensive coordinator understanding tape and understanding how this team wants to operate to overlook Achane. I understand experts and their biases and just basically underwriting the Miami Dolphins, and then he getting the effect of that, right? But I don't think any defensive coordinator does not see Achane for the weapon that he is. And obviously he is a valued asset because he was given a contract and an extension at the running back position. So I get it. People and their biases and all that type of stuff. But defensive coordinators, oh no, I believe that they understand exactly what Achane possesses and poses as a threat on a week in, week out basis, respectfully. Lou, you got it.
Oh, nah. Well, I heard Tone say we were over 2 hours. We are definitely over 2 hours. I'm going to give my final thought, unless we're going to continue. Or are we?
Final thoughts. We got final thoughts.
Okay. Well, my final thought is we still got 39 people after 2 hours and 10 minutes. So I want
hit the
to say
subscribe and like button, people. Please help us get to 1,000.
absolutely. Yeah, the road to 1,000. We're trying to get to 1,000 before week 1. We should be able to do it because
Yes.
again, of you faithful listeners, that's where my final thought is going to go. For 39 people to still be rocking with us. Again, I want to send a special shout out and thank you to our brother and everybody else's brother TD for pulling up, even though there was an idea earlier of maybe me and Finsanity versus TNT. That's what I'm gonna start calling Tone and Tone.
Call him the Tony. Like
yeah, me and Finsanity versus
Tony
the two
two-time.
Tonys. But again, salute to my brother TD for pulling up, and salute now 40 of y'all. Like Tony said, hit the like button and subscribe, and that's my final thought. But I appreciate everybody coming through and staying for so long.
Listen, man. Listen, we gotta at least try to make it at least competitive. So I wouldn't do y'all like that, but
Well, see, I was gonna say you and TD might need a little bit more help.
Hey, listen. If it is, listen. I see y'all. I'm reading the comments. Yes, and I see y'all loving TD on the platform. I told y'all we do have something in the workings. I had to get August is almost here, so I had to link up with TD and see what's going on. So y'all lay around for that announcement, and appreciate every last one of y'all. 39 of y'all still in the building. Hit the like button, subscribe. Shout out to Mike Best, said we need to get to 1,000 before week 1. Listen, that would be very appreciative. I think we had 82 away or something like that. Before week 1. Let's get this channel, help us grow. If y'all enjoy this content, share it with your friends, right? Shout out to the best comment section on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate y'all like always. Finsanity, do you have anything else before we get up out of here?
Yes, thank you all for voting on the poll. It was 45 votes, which is like, that's really great, guys. Thank you so much. 84% of you said yes, and 60% said no to the question of, did you like Hafley's approach to start practice with 11 on 11? Thank you. Once again, thank you guys for all spending your Wednesday evening with us. It was so amazing. I'm just happy to be here. Mike Best, don't ever disrespect me ever again like that in your life. Don't add an LOL to just justify it. I don't glaze anybody. Also, this is a Jason Taylor jersey, respectfully. Yeah, shout out to the chat. Love you, Mike Best. You're a great one. That's all.
Yeah, before we get up out of here, man, we appreciate y'all. Hit the like buttons. We will see y'all Friday. Lou, get us up out of here, my brother.
Hey, man, y'all heard the final thoughts from all of us. This has been the Wednesday episode of the Bliss Pickup. The next time you will see us is Friday. Hey, you know what I noticed? I think we started today at like 8:25, 8:26. We ain't been this late in a while. We getting back to the roots. So
yeah, we haven't been this late in a while. You're right. We've been on time.
Hey, football season's getting close, so you know we got to get back to our roots. Listen, for my sister Finsanity, for my brother Tone, for our special guest TD for pulling up, you know who I am. We'll see y'all Friday. The revolver goes to Mr. 6 for 9.
Bang, 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 bang.
Hey, Nay. Bye.
We out.